I've begun streaming. I hope I got everything. um, Let me check audio, because that's always been a good idea. I hope I got everything. Alright, cool. I am streaming. Audio, because that's always been a good idea. You may have heard that my voice sounds a little different than usual. And if you haven't noticed, then great. That means outwardly it sounds perfectly fine. But to me, it sounds like way different. Because you can't tell I'm a little congested. So, long story short, I have allergies. I guess that's a very short story. So, I didn't have to make it short. It was fine. Alright, we can start over here. I need to do cheating fingers anyway, so before anything happens. Also, I started a few minutes earlier than usual. Oh, wait, speaking of which, I need to send this. Okay. Alright, there we go. Because I don't know how long I'm going to stay on. I may end a little early today. I'm not sure. Depends on how my throat feels, to be honest. Maybe I should not talk as much right now when I know there's nobody here. Save all the talking for when people get here. Actually, I might be okay so long as I don't do any of the high pitched. So if I don't get excited for any reason. Alright. If anybody's here, for the sake of my voice, don't get me excited. For the sake of my throat. Yeah, don't get me excited. Alright. Yeah, it's also been a while because last week I was not streaming because I went to a magic convention. I'll wait to talk about it until people show up, if anybody does. And if not, I'll talk about it later still, just not right now. Whee. Also, yesterday was May the 4th, so happy belated Star Wars Day, everybody. May the 4th be with you. And then, I used to say Revenge of the 5th, but actually Revenge of the 6th sounds a lot better, I think. So I'm not sure what should be said during May the 5th. This is the May. Okay, so from our Twitch deck, these are signed, these are unsigned, so we got a bunch. Yo, fancy sign guy. Welcome in, House Andrel. How's it going? How are you doing? Welcome in. Thanks. Yeah, I got this for my birthday back in February, and I didn't really show it off until like March. But now I'm showing it off basically every stream. But welcome in, House Andrel. How's it going? How are you? Speaking of which, House Andrel, have you signed the new Twitch deck? I don't believe you have. Let me slide this out of the way. I know you signed the old Twitch deck, but I don't know if you signed the new one. Let me just double check here. None of these say House Andrel, right? House Andrel, thank you so much for the resub. So please select one of these cards, and then you get to sign a new card from the new Twitch deck because of the resub. So thank you so much for the resub. So let me know. Charlie's Beats, welcome in. How's it going? Welcome in. But yeah, all of these cards are the open ones, so feel free to select another card to sign House Andrel. And then, and we'll sign that for you. And then, yeah, of course, request a trick if you would like, and we will. Oh, wait, hold on. Did I turn on the. I don't think I turned it on yet. There we go. All right, now it's on. But yeah, yeah. Select one of these cards, and we will have you sign one. Thank you so much for the resub and the continued support. Charlie's Beats, as always. Ace of Spades, right here. But how's everybody doing tonight? I am feeling a little bit not so great. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I can hear it in my voice. I don't know if you guys can hear it in my voice. I was going to tell this long story earlier, but actually it turns out it's a very short story. I have allergies, and I went outside every day for the last 4 days. So that's pretty much it. Queen of Diamonds. All right, Queen of Diamonds on the end. Here we go. House Andrell, you get to be the Queen of Diamonds this time. I believe last time you guys signed a heart face card. But anyway, what's it? Our VGK hockey team just lost game 7. No, I'm so sorry. My sympathies. I don't know what VGK stands for, but I know that hockey games in game 7, that's very pivotal. So that means it's been a slog. All right, house, and then we'll spell Andrell over here. Yeah, I'm always a fan of like epic games. Vegas Golden Knights. Ah, but we're having fun. Got friends over and showing them. Not you! Showing them you! What? Thank you so much for showing them me. Alright, cool. So, I guess we should show them something. Let's start with a trick. You know what? If you have new friends over there, let's just do the tricks that I would normally do first. You could have selected any card. In this case, you selected the Queen of Diamonds. And what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and say that you are now magically connected to the Queen of Diamonds. Because you are. Because here it says house here, and then Andrell there. Okay, but here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and take it and place it in the middle of the deck, like this. By the way, if you met me in person, this is the trick I would probably show you first. Now, importantly, if you were here, you could snap yourself. But I'll just snap and just show you that we made it jump from the middle, and it jumped back up to the top. If you don't believe me, that's okay. Just keep on watching. Because look. There it is. And it's not a duplicate because we just signed it. It's House Andrell right there. Now we just got the power. We don't want to waste it. Let's go ahead and do it again. I'm going to go ahead and grab it, take it, place it in the middle of the deck. Like this. Now importantly, it's not on the top. That's some other card. It's not on the bottom. It's because we haven't snapped yet. So let me just go ahead and snap. We do now believe it's gone from the middle all the way up to the top. Because look. Now some people believe magicians will do sneaky things, like swapping out a card. But I'm going to go ahead and leave this sticking out. And you'll know that it hasn't been swapped out, because I'll show you that it is the same card and it's been signed House Andrell, right? I'm going to go ahead and grab it, take it, and place it in the middle of this packet. I'm going to grab this whole packet and place it in the middle of this packet. Once again, not on the bottom, not on the top. Not until we snap and bring it from the middle back up to the top. Because look, there we have it. House Andrell getting on top. Let's see. Once again, thank you so much for the resub and the continued support, House Andrell. Let's go ahead and do something with all the queens, because why not? So we have these 4 queens, and what I want to do... Not feeling well, you say, says Gibson Lens. Yes, that is correct. Welcome in, Gibson Lens. How are you doing? I'm not feeling well. House Andrell says, get on top. That's right. Now, I want to do something interesting with these queens. I want to turn them all face up, but only one card at a time. However, if I was to do it like this, that would be cheating because that's how normal people would do it. So we're not allowed to do it that way. I'm going to go ahead and do it a magical way. I'm going to hold the packet and give it a magical twist. This magical twist looks really awesome with the backs of these cards because look at this. Look at that go. But that's actually going to turn up one of the queens. I think it's going to be the queen of clubs, right? No, queen of spades. That's right. Now I'm going to hold the packet and give it another magical twist. That'll turn the queen of spades face down and the queen of hearts face up. I know, is that weird? That's super weird, right? That shouldn't happen. That's a little bizarre. Now if I hold the packet and give it another magical twist, now it'll turn up the queen of clubs. Now, the last one, which one did we not hit up yet? Queen of diamonds? Queen of diamonds. So the queen of diamonds is a little bit tired from the previous trick because, look, if I show you, all the cards are face down. But even if I give it one magical twist, all the cards are still face down. And it's because it's the one that was signed by House Andrell, and we had it jump through all those hoops to get to the top of the deck a few times. So even if I give it two magical twists, some people would be like, yo, cumulative property, 3 magical twists. And it's like, no, look, it's still face down. But let's see. We have this really cool thing. It's called the deck sock. Anytime I mess up a trick, this is the true magical talent of the stream. So it will bail me out. So, deck sock, can you please give this packet your magical touch? Boom. And now we look, if I take my finger and just spread the packet, spread the packet. Get your minds out of the gutter. No, here it is. House Andrell has turned face up and is now on top. There we go. And there we have it, my friends. That was a good warm-up, and thanks for letting me know that you had other people over, and that you were showing them me. I've been shown. All right, let's hop back up here for a minute and say hi to everybody. House Andrell, thank you so much for the 500 bits. You totally didn't have to. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Your voice sounds a bit different. Are you okay? Asks Obi-Wan. Well, Obi-Wan, if you saw in the title, I'm not feeling so great tonight. Long story short, I have allergies. That was very short. So, and I went outside the last 4 days. So I went outside today, the day before yesterday, 2 days ago, 3 days ago. Yeah. So that is effectively what the problem is. My throat is killing me though. So that's. But anyway, welcome in Gibson Lands. How you doing, Bert? Hopefully you're having a great weekend. Obi-Wan says my ears are still good. Awesome. All right. So let's see. While we're here, let's give everybody a shout out, guys. If you're not following our friends, House Andrell, please give House Andrell a follow. They are musicians, variety streamers, streaming games. Sometimes they'll play games, sometimes they'll do community games. They've also streamed from their pool, so that's fun. I actually got a chance to meet them last year at TwitchCon, and I went over to their house for a party, so that was a good time. Let's see. If you guys are not following our friend and mod, Gibson Lens, please give Bert a follow. Gibson Lens is a pianist, plays a lot of VGM, popular music, esoteric music, also composes a lot of his own originals, which he has been slowly doling out some new originals to us. So they're old originals to him, new to us. So and then also, if you're not following our friend Obi-Wan, please give Obi-Wan a follow. Obi-Wan is a guitarist and happens to do a lot of practice guitar streams with Asian pop music, or Asian drama music, I guess, also. But the Trek Nerd says, a pecanist? I like pecans, or pecans. Depends if you pronounce it pecans or pecans. But anyway, yeah, so Check Obi-Wan out if you're into that. And let's see, I'm streaming Baldur's Gate 3 weekly recently. Ah, okay. So if you want to see more Baldur's Gate, that's a lot of what Obi-Wan is streaming lately. Welcome in the Trek Nerd. How's it going? How are you? Thanks for the lurk, House Endrel. If anybody from your house party would like to request anything, feel free. The trick list is open. Here is how to request something, and if you just want to do a random one, just do !random. Alright, let's see, who else? Barney of the Rubble, welcome in. Yay, Crazy Asian's doing guitar streams. I'm not doing guitar streams. Thanks for the enthusiasm, though. I appreciate it. Alright, let's see here. Let's find a... What number is considered unlucky that is on a playing card? Actually, maybe the Joker is unlucky. You said it, I have it clipped. What? No, Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan does guitar streams. Alright, well, if you clipped it, I'll see the clip later. If I deem that it's worthy, I'll just leave it. If not, then... Alright, so here we have 4 queens. Here's our newly signed House Andrel, Queen of Diamonds. And a Joker. Now, this Joker is a perv. He wants to hang out with all of the queens. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to isolate him. And what we'll do is we'll show you all of the other queens here, but all we have to do is show you that we just have to do one thing, and we'll just make this hop 1, 2, 3 times, and after the 3rd time, if you take a look, there's only 1 card over here and 4 cards over here, and actually the 1 card that's over here is our Joker, because all 4 of the queens have gotten away from him. Alright, let's see. Barney of the Rebel says, you said it, I have it clipped. You said, oh, I'll be one to do practice guitar streams. Oh, no, I said Obi-Wan. This is Obi-Wan, and I guess it sounds like I'll be one. But by the way, happy belated Star Wars Day. May the 4th be belated. May the belated 4th be with you. And then I used to say Revenge of the 5th, but Revenge of the 6th sounds way better, so I'll say that tomorrow. So I guess today we're stuck with... What are we stuck with today? This is the May, right? So there we go. The Trek Nerd says smooth. Thank you kindly, the Trek Nerd. Now that he read my message out, he literally said it. So I was hanging out with my magician friends on Friday night, and just a couple days ago, and they were trying to play this game. Alright, the game is don't say any of these words. And so, like, for the first game, it was like the word president, 22, and something else. And, and no. And then the game ended really quick. Just to give you an example, the second game was, and now everybody was aware of how the game was played. Don't say the word 13. And so he said, okay, what's 40 minus 3? 37. What's 37 minus 4? 33. What's 33 minus 3? 30. Ha! You said it! It's like, no, you said 13. Ha! You said 13! It's like... Anyway. Yeah. So that's what it reminded me of, Barney of the Rubble. That's the level of shenanigans that I... By the way, when choosing my name, I wanted my name to sound like Obi-Wan, but written differently. Thus, Obi-Wan. I gotcha. So I don't know if anybody wanted to see any magic tricks with Star Wars cards today, but I pulled them out just in case, because in my mind it is Star Wars weekend, effectively. So here is the Star Wars deck. It's the white-backed Star Wars deck. So for anybody who's not aware of these or has not seen these, I did pull them out not too long ago. but we have all face cards that are different characters from the Star Wars universe. Even the two Jokers, that's BB-8, and here's the other droid. And then, let's see. So here's some of the other face cards. Yes, it's fitting. Let's see some Star Wars tricks. Okay, so I was trying to come up with one. Remember, we had a discussion. Unfortunately, we don't have young Luke. We have old Luke here, and then we have Darth Vader. So I was trying to come up with a way to adapt Devil's Elevator. So let me see if I can just do that really quick. And you know what? Who else would make a really good... Yeah, Ben and Han Solo, right? Okay, alright. So we have sixes and nines that are red. Normally I'll use red sixes and nines because this trick is normally called the Devil's Elevator. However, today we're going to theme it as Cloud City's Weather Vane Chasm. So this is how far you've fallen. So if you fall off the bottom, this is very bad. Okay. So we have, oh man, what order do I do this in? You know what? For the purposes of this, Han and Ben will be saved. Vader will be saved, and then we're gonna knock Luke down. Okay. So, all right. Okay. So this is what we want to do. We have our 4 red sixes and nines over here. And then we have, here, we're going to put Luke over here. So here's Luke. Here's Vader. And then here's Ben. And then here is Han. All right, we're going to put Han on the top. And he flies the Millennium Falcon. And so he doesn't fall too far down into the second level of the Cloud City Weather Vane Chasm. And so the Millennium Falcon just comes around and picks him up. And so he's able to get out from the top because there he is. Now, Ben, he falls further down. I know, just ignore the anachronism that all of these people are from like different time frames because I don't have like a young Luke or whatever. And Darth Vader isn't around at this point. But anyway. So he's in the third level down of the chasm, and you know, Han Solo decides to take pity on him, flies the Millennium Falcon over, lifts him up, and he's able to escape through the top because there he is. Now, some people believe that perhaps the chasm had outlets in which they could hide, but no, these are the same sixes and nines we've been using the whole time, and so Vader is going to fall a little bit further down to the fourth level down of the chasm. And but he has the entire Imperial army behind him, and his custom TIE fighter flies in to pick him up from the top. So there he is. And now some people believe that Luke is going to go ahead and be able to jump up from the bottom. And normally you would be correct. However, he has a vision. You know how like the Jedi has a vision? And so even though he's at the bottom level of the chasm, his vision is that he is able to jump back up to the top. However, since that was just a vision, he is not really at the top. He wakes up out of this strange vision, and he realizes that he's got a long way to climb up. He's not on the top. But luckily he's not on the bottom. However, he imagines that he can climb all the way up to the top. Just imagines that he could. And so he envisions himself there. But he's not actually here at the top, because he's going to envision that he climbs up a little bit higher to try and get out of this chasm. And so here he is again. Once again, he does not actually climb up to the top yet. He is still climbing. He is still in the Rusty Panda. Welcome in. How's it going? And thank you so much for the resub. Thanks to Zertletiff. Yeah, Zertletiff, I think, gave you a gift sub a while ago. So yes, welcome in. How's it going? I'm in the middle of a re-theme of the Devil's Elevator as Star Wars, but I'm already past the. Anyway, so what we're doing is Luke Skywalker is trying to climb out of the Cloud City weather vane chasm, and he's still got a long way to go. He hasn't escaped yet, because if we take a look at these, Luke hasn't escaped. he's still in there. So he's trying to make his way up to the top. It's working very well as Star Wars. I thought about that. This is actually doing okay. I was actually happy with Obi-Wan. Good call. So look, he's still climbing up. However, he's not actually at the top yet, because look, now, as you can see, he's here at the top. Or is he? And so, one more time, he finally conquers, because he really is at the top now. And that, my friends, is a retheme of the Devil's Elevator plus extra trick for a Star Wars themed anachronistic reinterpretation of father and son at Cloud City. Revenge of the Fifth. Yes, happy Revenge of the Fifth. I was explaining earlier that I think that Revenge of the Sixth sounds better, so I'm saving that for tomorrow. So, but yeah, I'm just working. Let's see. It's just one card. You could also say he is at the top and at the bottom. I mean, if there is only one card, he is at the top and at the bottom at the same time. Importantly, he climbed out. He made it by himself. If nothing else, it shows Jedi tenacity, right? Thank you kindly for the claps. Obi-Wan, the Rusty Panda. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I just realized I'm not keeping track of any of these. Let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. Gonna do this. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm just updating my statistics for tonight, because I missed last week's statistics, so I was like, okay. Alright. I'm going to keep these. Alright, so now that we have some people here, by the way, if anybody would like to request some magic, the trick list is empty, the queue is empty, feel free to request. Also, while we're here, so the Rusty Panda came in. Guys, if you're not following our friend the Rusty Panda and Mod here, please give the Rusty Panda a follow. Rusty Panda, singer, songwriter, musician, also does interview streams on Wednesdays called Wiki Wednesday, unique interview stream. So please check the Rusty Panda out. Anyway, my apologies for my throat today. My throat's not feeling very good, but otherwise, let's see. So last week I did not stream because it was a super busy stream. So on Saturday I went to a local innovation festival from my university, because I didn't move too far away from my university on Saturday, and I took my family, so my wife and my 2.5-year-old, to the festival. And last year my 1.5-year-old wasn't old enough to really understand anything, but this year she was fascinated with everything, so it was super awesome seeing her do things. It was a little bit rainy, but otherwise We got a bunch of stickers. She remembered the experience. We got some nice pictures, so it was all good. Last week on Sunday, I went to a magic convention. It was a one-day convention, only an hour and 10 minutes away from where I live. So I live in the greater Rochester area. This is happening in Buffalo, New York. And so here's my pass. So Monty is the Magicians Alliance of Western New York 2024. And it says, Nam Crazy Asian. So I was able to finagle and tell them to put Crazy Asian on there this way because I was like, well, if I talk up my YouTube and Twitch, it's just easier to have them like copy it from this or take a picture versus me telling them how to spell it because I'm not handing out business cards or anything. As it turns out, you're probably wondering why it says Vice President there. That's kind of a gag. Everybody who was not staff was Vice President. So, yeah. But we had an incredible lineup. So here was the schedule, which if anybody knows, having the schedule or map on the back of your badge for literally any convention, super handy. And so I arrived probably around noon. There wasn't too much happening before that except for registration and an auction, but I'm like, I'm not going to spend a ton of money on auction stuff. So the close-up show was amazing. We got to see basically each one of those it was 6 people, right? 6 people for a close-up show. We just sat in one place. Those 6 people rotated amongst the handful of rooms that we had. There's all sorts of different kinds of things. I even took magician notes inside my new magic notebook. It's not a new notebook, but it's just a notebook that I hadn't used anything for. But yeah, so I got a lot of notes. Henry Evans was one of the magicians. John Allen was another one of the magicians. Joe Monty was another magician. Steve Fredberg was another magician. Matt Baker and Alex Hilsey. And then we had a lecturer, Sean Farquhar. He has fooled Penn and Teller, or at least has he fooled? I think he's been on Penn and Teller for sure. I don't know if he's fooled them. I think he did. But he did a lecture, and I took a lot of notes from that as well. I haven't been able to ingest most of it, but yeah. So that was the convention. So it was basically one day. So yeah, after the lecture, there was a dinner, which was paid for as part of the entry fee for the entire thing. And then the night show, which was also amazing. So the night show consisted of 6 or 7 acts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 acts. And they were all great, so I had a great time. And then I drove home, and then by the time I made it home, it was 11:40. So I was like, well, if I hopped onto stream, well, first of all, I was exhausted. If I hopped onto stream, it was probably only going to be for like 20 minutes. I was just like, all right, I'm just not going to stream. It's fine. And then Friday, this past Friday, we had a magician's hangout. So my local magic friend was like, hey, we're having a bunch of magicians over at my house. If you guys are interested, come on over. So how many magicians does it take to make a rowdy magician hangout? The answer is 5, because there were 5 magicians at this house, at my friend's house on Friday. So, which was fun. I also continued taking notes in my magic notebook. So I learned a few things. I showed a few things. It was nice because I was able to show some of my other friends some things that I usually do. I actually brought the triangle deck and the clear deck of cards to show them. By the way, most people can't immediately handle the triangle deck out of the box because they are weird. Yeah, Magic Party, woo! Different connotation if you mean Magic the Gathering, but yes, I'm glad you have a circle of magic people. I mean, yeah, I live in a place in which there's a chapter of one of the largest Society of American Magicians. So that I'm very fortunate that they exist here. But I guess without them, I wouldn't have necessarily met these people. But yeah, so that was that. So yeah, Thursday I went outside because I picked up my daughter and we went out to the playground because it was one of the nicest days that we had had in a long time, and it was super nice weather. We probably stayed out way too long, but you know what? Whatever. We need outside time. And then yesterday, we went to a farm nearby. It was like a local farm to look at the animals and stuff. We found out that they were doing a festival today called the. Actually, I don't know if you guys saw it. There was a little stamp on my hand. It's called the Ba Fest. It's a little bit faded, but hopefully you guys can still see it. But they call it the Ba Fest because the intent is they shear sheep, and then they have a bunch of like food tables. They have a face painting table. They have a hayride going on, and so it's kind of just like a big festival. They initially get people to come because they're basically shearing a bunch of sheep worth of wool. But yeah, so that was fun. Went to that today. It almost rained out. It just got the sheep shearing basically just got delayed. But anyway, so yeah, I was outside for 4 days in a row, and I have pretty bad allergies, and so that's my throat. Here we are. Okay, cool. So, there is one trick that I do want to perform. It's actually not on the trick list. And actually, I'm almost tempted to say it could be, if you guys follow my YouTube channel, it's a trick that I did for one of my videos there, but I kind of improv'd it. And I was actually like super impressed with it. I've done it a couple more times since. And I really like it. So I'm actually thinking about like, hopefully I'm gonna streamline it a little bit, and then maybe I'll put it on the trick list, and maybe I can lay claim to be like, this is a this is one of my new tricks. So that'll be nice. Let me find a couple of other cards here. Let's see. 8-4. Okay, perfect. Tuned in, lurking, late night working, says Mike 2600. Oh, welcome in, Mike 2600. How you doing? Welcome in. Guys, you're not following our friend Mike 2600. Give Mike 2600 a follow. Fellow magician, but does a lot of DJing on Twitch, or at least used to. I don't know if you still do, but has occasionally streamed magic on Twitch. So, but I got a chance to meet Mike 2600 last year at MagicFest. Thanks for the lurk. All right, so here we have a couple of cards. We have the 2 red 8s and the 2 black 4s. Now I'm going to alternate these. So look, if I go ahead and I place black, red, black, and red. Now if I was to ask you guys, what are the top 2 cards? Would you say 1 black and 1 red? I think that's what a lot of people would say. And honestly, when I do this, that's what people say. But if I was to show you right now, the top 2 cards are actually the 2 red 8s. I know, is that strange? That's super strange, right? That shouldn't. Now, I just want you to keep this in mind. I'm going to place the 2 red 8s back on top. Now, if I was to ask you after the snap, which one is on top? Or would you say the 2 red 8s? Would you say 1 red 8, 1 black 4? If you happen to say both black 4s, you are correct. I know, that's super unintuitive. But look, if I show you, there's our 2 black 4s on the top. I know, is that weird? That's super weird, right? That should not happen. Is that a little bizarre? That's a little bizarre, right? However, this is what we're going to do. So, do you remember what order they are in right now? Because would you believe that they are red, black, or black, red, red? Which one would you be more impressed at? Probably doesn't matter too much. You know there's a magic trick. So where's this going? This is going, well, regardless of whether they are fours or eights. The Rusty Panda says both. It's a great guess. You are watching a magic stream, but actually, none of these are fours and eights because, like, if I show you, they are the four queens, and that, my friends, is a trick that has no name yet. But so there we go. But I'm liking that. So. So I did the trick on YouTube, and basically I got a couple of comments, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're following along up until the very end," and that last that reveal at the end is like, "Oh, that got me." And I'm like, "Okay, so I have to keep that in as the main part of the trick." So thank you kindly for the claps, the Rusty Panda. All right. So I was telling my magic friends that I think I have a new goal in magic. So last couple of years, it was to become more creative with my magic. Which, by the way, I'm not gonna lie, having stream and interacting with chat during stream has worked wonders for me being able to improv, tell different stories, to like reskin tricks as like other weird things that I would have never thought of. Right, like the things that I think of are just like things for me. But when I make a trick for somebody in chat, it's like, oh man, I would have never thought of that. That's brilliant. Or, oh, I would have never thought of that. Let me do it that way. Oh my god, that works so well. Like that's actually happened a bunch of times. So thank you so much for being awesome, chat, and helping me through that in the last couple of years. Um, as you can tell, I still want to do that. That's not going away. So at this point, like, I feel like being able to improvise a trick or like tell a story with a trick is a very important skill for a magician. And I've learned since that not every magician has those skills. And I'm like, oh, okay, so this is super unique and special, I think. So it's something I can foster. But my other goal is that, so right now, there is a world of people called musicians, and they can do something called sight reading. Um, and for those of you who are musicians or have played like rhythm games, you understand what sight reading is. You can basically play a song or play a level in a rhythm game without ever having to have seen it before because you can sight read the thing that's coming up and you can play it, right? This kind of thing doesn't really exist in Magic, but I've had ideas in the past that I've told some of my other Magic friends, and this is probably the first time I might be mentioning this on stream. I think I've mentioned it to a couple other people before in the Twitch community, but not on stream. So, but what if I could come up with a system that could allow a magician to sight read a magic trick? Would that not be cool, or what? Now, the only reason why I'm mentioning this now is not because I think this is a brilliant thing. It's because I probably don't have time to fully flesh it out. But if I can inspire somebody else to do it, it would be awesome. I still have some ideas, but if anybody else has any ideas, I'm open to talking with. So let me know. Mike2600 says, like shorthand notation for sleights. Mike2600, yes. So right now, for anybody who's not familiar with like magic books and like how they're written, a lot of older ones have like the instructions of how to do the trick, the patter to use, like the words to say, and like any basically everything like in prose, like in just written out, right? Newer magic books have kind of come up with a better structure where they will explain everything in the same way, but then they might have like an outline at the end, kind of explaining everything, but really short, like outline style. I've seen some other ones, so if anybody's familiar with Juan Tamariz's Mnemonica, I haven't fully read that book, but I was able to thumb through it because my magic friend owns it, and there are illustrations in that, and also in some of other Tamariz's books, where it's like a graphical design that basically somehow illustrates the thing that is happening in that trick. And I'm like, that's super cool, but it doesn't really work for anything and everything else outside of Juan Tamariz's tricks, right? Um, but yeah, that's kind of like what I'm getting at in Mike 2600. It's like, is there something in which, maybe they can't do it like reading it like straight down, but like if they read it once or twice, and it's like they're familiar with all of the sleights or whatever, that they could mechanically do the trick. Like, is there a way that we could do that? Like, that's the goal, right? So anyway, putting that out there into the world, into the universe. But yeah, Mike 2600. I know you're a magician. If you want to talk about stuff, let me know. I've had some ideas. I've developed some ideas. I have a notation system for how to set up a trick that basically a card trick that just takes up one cell in an Excel spreadsheet. So if I forgot how to set up a trick, I just open up that spreadsheet and I just look at that cell that says set up. And it doesn't describe like things in a paragraph. I just look at the notation that I used in here. And it's like, I understand what all of these symbols mean. Some of them are quite arbitrary, but once I explain it, it makes sense, I think. So, Bert, thanks for shouting out Mike 2600. That's right. We have a special one for Mike. I forgot that we had the special one for Mike because Mike's a magician. So, all right, cool. So anyway, that's kind of my new hopes and dreams for magic, or at least we'll see how far I can take it in 2024. All right. So that's it. You're onto something. Let's get on Zoom and swap notes sometime. Okay, back to the lurk mods. All right. Yeah, for sure. We'll talk, Mike 2600. We'll talk. All right, this is a good time if anybody has been sitting around for a while and has not hydrated. Now's a good time. So, in the spirit of not over caffeinating myself late at night, I'm now having a herbal mint tea for before bedtime. All right, cool. So let's see, where are we at? I do need to do some more magic, cause I do need to practice. Even though I did do some more tricks this past. Oh, actually, let me do the trick that I showed all the magicians because I still don't know the name of this trick, and I have been asking around. I did get a little bit of an inkling of a hint that somebody might have seen something like it. And so there is hope for me eventually finding the true history of this trick. But we will see. Okay. But yeah, as a magician, and I do want to try and find the history and origin of tricks so that I can attribute properly. But this one, so this is a trick that I originally learned because as I learned many of my tricks, I found performances on YouTube and then I reverse engineered it. I even commented on the original magician's YouTube video and I never heard back. So I'm like, well, all right, that's not going to be helpful. So, but here we are. So this is the trick that I showed the other magician. I had 4 other magicians in the room and they didn't immediately know what it was. So I'm like, okay, I'm onto something. They even teased. They were like, oh, we should call it, Nam's trick until then. I'm like, no, I found it on the internet. I found it. But anyway, so here we have some black spot cards. I'm going to go ahead and lay them out over here. And we're just going to go ahead and lay those there. And I'm going to show you that these are all red face cards. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly exchange cards from this pile in this packet. So look, if I go ahead and I take out one red face card and I grab one black spot card, you would expect to be able to see a black spot card in here. But look, if I snap, it goes away. We convert it to a red face card. See, all the cards are red faces now. Now look, we can take out another one. And Let's scoop up another black spot card. And once again, if I snap, they all still look like red face cards. I know, that's super weird, right? And some people are like, whoa, whoa, I bet you can't do it with two. And I'd be like, no, no, we'll do it with two. Here, watch. We'll scoop up the two remaining black spot cards. We snap, and yet they are all still red face cards. Is that strange or what? Now, some people are like, hey, I bet you that the black spot cards are down here. And to that I would say, I mean, you're not exactly wrong, but I don't think these are the black spot cards you're looking for because... Oh, sorry. Let me do this the Star Wars way because happy Star Wars weekend. These are not the black spot cards you are looking for. Move along. Because the two black spot cards that are down here, they're actually aces. And they're not all black spot cards. These are actually red spot cards. These are actually the two red aces. And that, my friends, is a trick that I'm calling red packet, black packet, because that's kind of how I learned it. And yeah, there was some slight clues from one of the magicians on Friday, and he said it might be a Michael Amar thing. And if anybody is into magic and knows who Michael Amar is, awesome. I was able to get a selfie with Michael Amar, not this year at Monty, but last year. So that was cool. But yeah. So that's the trick. I'm looking for historical information for. Okay. Let's see, what else? One of my other magic friends said that he was potentially going to have a, no, actually not potentially, but he is going to have a gig. It'll be, I think, his first real gig where it's not like just walking around like a bar, but there might be a show, might be like a 45-minute magic show. So good luck to him. Hopefully that works out pretty well. And he does have some time. I think he's doing it in August. But I was showing him a couple of tricks that I think kind of low effort hit really well. These are the kinds of things that magicians talk about. It's like, okay, what's the magical impact? Can you like, how hard is it, right? So it's like if it's really hard for a little magical impact, maybe don't do that. And it's too risky, right? Whereas like if it's like it only takes this much effort, but the magical impact is huge, do that, right? Like so. For me, I guess I don't really have too much of an issue. It's like I'll do the hard stuff if it's stuff that I've done on stream because I'm like, I've been doing this on stream for a year and a half. I can go for 2 hours. It's like, all right. To be fair, this is probably a lot less formal than a show would be, but yeah. So once again, the queue is empty. If anybody would like to request anything, feel free. Oh crap! I didn't pull out my coins from when I took them. I packed up my coins to show people when I was going to do some coin tricks. I did not take them out. Actually, while I'm taking them out, why not? Let's do a coin trick. Alright, hang on here. Let me just throw it in the queue. And I'm probably just going to do both of them. So, why not? Yeah, so I don't want to gross anybody out, but like, if anybody knows what post-nasal drip is, that's totally what I've had because of my allergies. So that's, Okay, all right. Let's see here. What we have is four cards. Sorry, four coins here and here. And I'm going to be trying to teleport them from corner to corner. All right, so here we go. We'll do the first one. There we go. And we'll do this second one. And then we'll do the third one. And then this last one we have 1, 2, 3 over here, and then one over there. And we're going to go ahead and do that. And that, my friends, is the cardless coin matrix. I did get some advice for this from a couple of Magic friends the past week, so I think it maybe looks a little bit better. I'm basically doing everything the same, but there's one minor, I guess, change that I've done. To non-magicians, probably not noticeable. Even to magicians, unless you were like looking for this specific thing, probably not noticeable. Okay, alright, so there's that. Oh, that's right, we can just follow up. Here we have it. The other thing is, I really love the matrix tricks. I would like to do more to expand them. So I'm trying to keep these sharp, but like I have to dedicate some time into learning some new stuff related to this. So yeah. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cover each coin with a card here. And so once again we'll make the coins jump from corner to corner. Go with this from here over here. Happens pretty quick. Here, there. Here you go. One more. And there we have it. I'm exhausted. Guys, having allergies. And by the way, if anybody else didn't know, I have another condition called gout. That means I'm getting to be an old man. But I've been suffering from a gout attack for maybe a little bit more than a week at this point. So I was walking through the convention hotel, like partially limping. But I'm like, I just have to get through today, and then, you know. But yeah, it's been exhausting to have gout and allergies and a 2-year-old and a bunch of events. So, um, all right, next up we have a request from Charlie's Beats. Thank you for the request, Charlie. Greatly appreciate it. Let me see. I'll have to set up for it. But I guess while I'm looking through the deck here, Charlie's Beats signed our Ace of Spades. Okay, I forget how to do this trick. So this is probably a very good request, Charlie, because I think there's a chance that this could become a boss trick. Alright, here we go. So what we have here is a deck. Let me just quickly give it a shuffle there. Okay, first things first, I'm going to make a prediction. And so this prediction, let me just scroll through, riffle through, and right here, and that'll be my prediction. Okay, next up, let's go ahead and try and make, I'm going to take 3 cards from the deck and place them over here, here, and here. Now hopefully I can make the prediction true. So here we go. If I just go ahead and I fan through the cards, it's not until I feel it. So like this is, I'm feeling this card, okay? Let me just show you this card. So here's the 8 of hearts. So if we go ahead and place the 8 of hearts over there, so that could mean that this could be an 8, this could be a heart. So that could be the situation. So let me go ahead and find another card. Let's go ahead and find this. This is the 8 of clubs. So I'm going to go ahead and place that down here. So I guess the strong indicator is that these are turning out to be 8s. So let me just go ahead and cut a bunch more packets down here. And now the last card that will hopefully match the prediction, the 8 of diamonds. So I'm going to ask you, chat, if this is the 8 of hearts, the 8 of clubs, and the 8 of diamonds, any guesses as to what card this is? Go ahead and type it in chat if you think you know. And I just realized I didn't mute my phone before this performance. Hang on. Let me just turn that down. I mean, that one sound wasn't going to bother me, but if somebody started messaging me and they all pinged, then we'd be like, ah! Alright, this is a good time. Reminder to take a hydrate break if you have been sitting around and you haven't hydrated for a bit. Please hydrate. As I was saying, I'm getting a little old, so sometimes when people say this, they would say, what's the question? I'll volunteer. Oh, the question is, if this is my prediction, and this was the 8 of hearts, the 8 of clubs, and the 8 of spades, what card should this be? Or sorry, 8 of diamonds. What card should this be? That was the question. Ace of spades? Okay, awesome. Cool. So I heard ace of spades, right? So look, ace of spades, because Charlie's Beats requested this trick. Wait a second. Did I mishear that, the Rusty Panda? You said ace of spades, right? Oh, no, sorry, I'm reading in chat. It does say 8 spades. This is a problem. You know, when I get into a situation, so first of all, this is great because normally I love it when I use the card of the person who requested the trick. So in this case, Charlie's Beats requested it, so here it is. However, hopefully that didn't mess up the trick. But that's okay. When I mess up a trick, hopefully the deck sock will save me. Deck sock, go ahead and save me. And what was the 8 of hearts, the 8 of clubs, and the 8 of diamonds is now the 4 aces. Here's our ace of hearts, ace of clubs, ace of diamonds. Yay, deck sock, says Charlie's Beats. That's cute. I like this. Ta-da! And also, the Rusty Panda in chat right now. There we have it. Gibson Lens also in chat right now. So, and that was matching the cards. All right. So, full disclosure, I wasn't nervous about the trick, but I realized while doing the trick, it's like I haven't done this in a while. So, thanks for requesting that, Charlie. Greatly appreciate it, keeping me on my toes. But yeah, it had been a while since I did that one. It's great to do that one in real life because people will say, you know, 8 of spades. And it's like, did you say ace of spades? It works out perfectly well. Let's see. So the trick cute. Oh, I was about to say it's empty, but there's actually something in there. But before we get to that, I do want to show off this thing. So I did buy something at the one-day convention. I did buy a few things, but this is one of the things. And you guys know how I have this fidget spinner? I've been using this on, on a couple of streams. I've bought the most appropriate fidget spinner for the stream. So it is a case. It's an acrylic case that goes around a deck of cards, and there's a little spinning thing right here and right here. So I just put the my old Twitch deck in there, and I can hold it right here, and I can spin the deck. So there we have it. Is that nuts? That's kind of crazy, huh? I'm not very good at it yet, so for spinning it fast and holding it. Charlie's Pizza's sussy pants. Yeah, Rusty Pants says, "OMG, lol." Okay, all right. Okay, let's see. So we have a request from the Rusty Panda. All right. This is the invisible deck. So this is a one per stream trick. I don't like to do it more than once per stream, so we're gonna do it once. So here we have it. Okay. The Rusty Panda, would you like to interact with this trick? Let me know. And I don't know if you've requested this trick before, but we had somebody in chat that wanted to request this trick for every single card. Just to make sure it wasn't a trick. Spoiler alert, they're all tricks. I haven't. Okay, great. All right, the Rusty Panda. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to ship this deck of cards through the internet pipes. So you'll see me pass through here. It's going to go through the internet pipes. It's going to pop out on your end. When it does, catch it. It'll be invisible, but then I'll give you some more instructions. So here we go, handing you the invisible deck through the internet pipes. Okay, I don't know if you can tell, it is now traveling through. Hopefully you get it on your end. It's invisible. You hit my cat! I'm so sorry! I apologize to your cat. What's your cat's name? Please give your cat loving pets for me. Let's go ahead and, yes. I don't know if your cat is this curvaceous, but let's just pretend it is this particular curvaceous. If not, we could, less curvy. It's, however, okay. But anyway, you have the deck. Just, so once you have the deck, open the box, take out all of the cards, spread through the cards, and pick one. Once you have selected a card, remember it, take it out of the packet, turn it face down, and then put it back into the packet. Close up the spread, put all the cards back in the box. So before you close up that box, make sure you remember that one card that you selected and you turn backwards, and then close the box. And then when you're all set, send that back through the internet pipes, and then I'll be ready to catch it when you are done. I got it! Okay, says the Rusty Panda. All right. Okay. When you're ready, I will diaper catch it. I guess that's weird to illustrate the diaper catch when there's like a table in the way, but anyway. Look, if you want, I can reroute. You can hit my cat, and then I can... as cat revenge! Gibson Lance has got the bad. My cat's old and has been through a lot. I'd rather you not, but if you want, I'll punish my cat later. All right, okay, here... Wait. It's invisible. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Now it's visible again. Okay. Alright, so at this point, I will not break away. You will be able to see the deck on camera the entire time. So, the Rusty Panda. It is now okay to tell me in chat, what card was it that you turned over in the rest of the deck? Go ahead and tell me in chat. The 3 of clubs. So, I sent this deck through the internet pipes to you. And then you took out the 3 of clubs, turned it around, put it back into the spread, put it back into the deck. I know why my deck was delayed. It did hit my cat. Okay, alright. I'll have to apologize to my cat later. But anyway, so look, what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open this. And would it not be strange that there was only one card turned in the opposite direction? Is that strange? That's super strange, right? Because look, if I show you, there is a card that is turned in the opposite direction. Just one. Is that strange? Strange, right? Now, if I couldn't read the card in chat right now, I'd just be like, hey, what's that card? What was the card? Three of clubs. Is that weird? It's super weird, right? That should not happen. It's a little bit strange. There's the sussy pants from Charlie's Beats again. And that, my friends, was an invisible deck. Wow, says the Rusty Panda. Wow. I feel jaded with magic tricks now. Since I've seen so many, I can understand them. But that was just freaking cool! Well, the Rusty Panda. I mean, you get to a point where, like, if you've seen so many tricks and you kind of, like, basically understand how it could be done, whether it was done that way or not, like, that whole jaded, and it's like, that's what I went through to become a magician, right? Like, I'm like, I know how that's done. I know how that's done. And it's like, you get to the point. But even now, when I went to that magic convention, when I was just hanging out with the other magicians, there was stuff that was still fooling me, and I'm like, still I can be surprised. Still I am beholden to wonder. So, yeah. Uh, and so, and even if I know how it's done, I can appreciate a performance. Like, you know, it's like, oh man, you do it that way? I do it this way. Or here's a nuance that works for me. Or, hey, you do that thing. That's really cool. I should do it that way. It's kind of it's kind of cool. Thank you kindly for the claps and the emotes. Charlie's Beats, the Rusty Panda. All right. Next up, we have a request from Charlie's Beats. Thank you kindly for the applause, Barney of the Rubble. Greatly appreciate it. Okay, so there's 3 versions of this trick. I'm trying to remember which one this is. Okay, alright. I think I remember. Okay, here we go. So we have the 4 aces here. We have the ace of spades, the ace of hearts, the ace of clubs, and the ace of diamonds. Did you see my magic trick? Your magic trick. Which magic trick? Barney of the Rubble, what did you... Oh, did you... You mean the applause? Thank you kindly for the applause. Okay, so we have the 4 aces, the magic trick I did. Yeah, where? Alright, so if you're familiar with twisting the aces, this is shaking the aces. Now look, if I place the ace of spades face up amongst all of these other aces, you can easily see where it is because it is here. But look, all I have to do is twist it, and that'll turn one of the aces over. In this case, it turns the ace of spades face down. But I can do a similar thing if I hold the packet and I shake it, which is, shaking the aces. If I shake it, it should do the exact same thing. So in this case, it'll turn up one of the aces because they were all face down. So here we have the ace of diamonds. Okay. Next, if I hold the packet and I shake it, that's actually going to make one of the other aces turn face up. And look, it is the ace of clubs. Now, some people believe that I can't do it face up. And to that I would say, no, I could do this face up. Look, if I just hold it like this and I shake, you'll see that the ace of clubs turns into the ace of hearts. Is that strange or what? Okay, let me go ahead and put that face down. So now we have 4 face down aces. That was cool. I like that. Oh yeah. What the? All right. So here we have 4 aces all face down. And now I just want to show you one more. Magicians are really fast at um, turning aces face up, but not this. Not this card. I just turned that one over. This one. I turned that one face up like this. But not only that, actually, I turned all of the aces face up. So all 4 of them are now face up. And that, my friends, is my performance and rendition of shaking the aces. Let's see. What the? Says Charlie's Beats. Yeah, did you? Yeah, so did you like that? When I saw that, I'm like, wow, that's hyper visual. That's so cool. I have to learn how to do that exactly. And I was like, that's pretty good. Faster than Flash. I'm certain that if we got a really high speed camera, something would probably get revealed. But luckily, Stream, I don't know, it's probably like 20 frames per second, so it plays in my favor. But um, yeah. Let's see. So if you let me see if I can come up with something really quick and visual to kind of illustrate a change like that. But yeah, that was shaking the aces. But that specific move is it's a maneuver. It's like a so let me see if I can do this correctly. I may have to wing it a little bit here. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is I'm just making this up on the fly. All right, so here we have the 4 aces. We have the ace of clubs, the ace of diamonds, the ace of spades, and the ace of hearts. So let me just show you that we have all of these here. But look, I'm just going to go ahead and turn the ace of hearts over. But actually, you may think that this is the ace of hearts, but all I have to do is just shake it. Now watch. Here we go. I don't know if you could tell, but that ace of hearts has changed into the queen of hearts. And actually, these are no longer the aces. These are actually all 4 queens. Is that cool? So yeah, that is like just isolating that move and just showing off that move. So glad you enjoyed that move. I did so that was one of the moves that came in a package that I purchased. It was one of my first like magic purchases. After I was like, I've learned a ton of things, and I'm looking to buy some things, and so I bought this collection of tricks and moves, and this was on it, and so I'm like, oh, so I learned it from the creator in a video, not directly, but it's pretty cool. It's very nice. It's a very nice color change. If you've heard me discuss color changes before. Okay, next up we have a trick requested from Charlie's Beats. Thank you so much for the request, Charlie. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Reminder to hydrate if you want to hydrate. Sorry if my reminders are overt today. I am I am itchy throat. Yeah. I think if it was a normal stream day, I might have just canceled stream. But since I missed last week, I was like, I felt guilty. I'm like, oh, I can't miss 2 streams in a row. So I'm like, all right, screw it, I'm streaming today. So here I am. But I'm getting a lot of good practice in. So all right, this one I also haven't officially done, but luckily I had done this last weekend because I was showing another magician. So hopefully this turns out okay. I don't want to jinx it or anything. All right, cool. So here we have 4 cards. We've got 2 blue-backed cards and 2 red-backed cards. The important thing to note is that the 2 red-backed cards are also red-faced, and then the 2 blue-backed cards, well, we don't have blue-faced cards, but we have black-faced cards. And so, yeah. Now, the thing is, this is an oil and water trick. Now, if you're familiar with oil and water tricks, they posit that, and they'll tell you the story. The black ink is heavier than the red ink, and they'll sometimes separate because oil and what. So I'm just going to tell you, we're going to mix them like this, and then all we have to do is flip over the packet, and then they're going to unmix. I know it's super weird, but that's how it works. See? So look, here's the red ones, and here's the blue ones. Now we can even do this. So I'm going to go ahead and place the blue one in between the red ones. We're going to close that back up. Now if I snap, that should theoretically fix the packet, because look. I know, is that strange? That's super strange, right? Now if I mix them, you'll see that they are genuinely mixed red, black, black. Because if we look on the back, red, blue, right? Now some people think that they know how this trick is done, and they'll sometimes think that I surreptitiously unmix the cards while they're not looking. And maybe we'll be in a situation in which we are unmixed. But secretly I haven't, because look, if I show you, the cards are still mixed. So that's strange, that's super mixed. But look, all I have to do is turn over the packet and give it a snap. And actually everything is unmixed. Is that strange or what? And I can even show you, look. And that, my friends, is a demonstration of what oil and water could be like if it was done with cards. There we go. I'm not gonna lie, I flew through that one faster than I've probably ever have. The thing is, that trick is very visual, so I've seen that on social media. It's actually really good for social media because you can just fly through the moves. It looks good. But yeah, once again, thank you for requesting that, Charlie's Beats. Keeping me in good practice. Alright, let's see here. Alright, for anybody who's still around, queue is empty, so if anybody would like to request anything, now's a good time. Charlie's Beat has requested the inverted card trick. Ooh, good pick. Alright, so here's what we can do. I'm going to go back to the Twitch deck here. We are going to need a card selected. And I don't need to know what it is right away. So I'm going to spread. If you are on desktop, Charlie, if you're on desktop, go ahead and click directly on the screen. Select any one of these cards. That will be your selection. And then I myself will... Okay, here it is. I'm going to push that one out. You know, completely in a vacuum. I'm going to push that one out. Sounds kind of innocent. Up until you think about, I literally said that earlier today to my 2.5-year-old while she's trying to poop. Yeah. So anyway, strange things in life. Chan the Magic Man, thank you kindly for the raid. Greatly appreciate it. My hands are up here. I'm not doing anything fishy. Welcome in, Chan. How's it going? If we can get a shout out. Thank you for getting the shout out for Chan. Guys, if you are not familiar with Chan the Magic Man, one of the other few magicians on Twitch that has a regular magic schedule. Also, this particular past week, Chan the Magic Man has had Magic Week. He has been doing a magic stream every day for the last week. So, check Chan the Magic Man out. So, Chan, how was stream? Hopefully it went well. I think I saw you were doing magic, and I could not hang out really for any amount of time. There were shenanigans with kids and then getting ready for stream. Your voice sounds different. Yes, I have a sore throat from not feeling good. I have allergies and I went outside the last 4 days. So thank you kindly for the follow. Peekaboo Draws, thank you so much. Chan, how is stream? How are you? Chan says, no! I'm going to try not to scream too loud because that might aggravate the voice. But, yeah, welcome in. Welcome in, Raiders. How is everybody doing? How is the stream tonight, Chan? Guys, if you don't know, Chan, newest mod here as well. But, yeah, Chan, the Magic Man, one of the few magicians that has regular magic schedule, has normally streams on Magic Stream on Magic Mondays once per week. But this past week, he's been doing Magic Week. He's streamed a magic stream every day this past week. So, anyway, Chan, we're in the middle of a trick, but let me know if there's anything you would like me to perform, and we'll put that in the queue next. All right, so last we had Charlie's Beat select a card. Nobody has looked at this. I put my hands up, so nothing fishy has happened. So stream was great. Performed some magic, played a couple of songs, and chat enjoyed it. Awesome. What more can you ask for? Alright, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and turn my head, close my eyes. I'll flip over this card, and then if chat can look at it, especially if Charlie's Beats can look at it, that would be great. So here we go, closing my eyes. I'm going to turn the card over, go ahead and take a look at that, chat. Hopefully you know what that card is at this point. I'm going to go ahead and turn it face back down, and then I'm going to open my eyes, turn my head back. Okay. Excellent. Peekaboo Draw says, had a great time, Chan. Excellent. I am glad you had a great time with Chan. Hopefully you have a great time here. If you decide to stay, I'll understand if you have to go. Schedules are busy. It is also late, especially if you're in my time zone, so totally get it. Okay. All right. I'm just going to hope somebody has gotten this, right? Somebody has remembered this card. Just going to double check. In the meantime, I'm going to eat this heat map. Delicious. Past my bedtime, but I'll stay for a little bit. Excellent. All right, cool. So here's what we're going to do. Hopefully somebody has got this. I'm going to go ahead and place it into the middle of the deck, like so. Okay. And now, importantly, we're going to push it in. Okay, some people believe that magicians will hold breaks and things. No such thing happening here. Now, something magical will happen because this card is going to reverse itself within the deck. Because look, if I show you, if we turn the deck over, and look, there's Charlie's Beats. If I show you, there's now one card facing in the opposite direction. Is that weird? Alright, so now for the first time, go ahead and tell me in chat what the card was. So whoever saw what it was, I'm hoping and assuming Charlie's Beats. Charlie says 5S. Burke says 5 of spades. Thank you kindly for the first time chat. Welcome in, Burke. So here we go. 5 of spades. Excellent. Now, some of you may know how that trick works, especially if you saw this on like your childhood playground or something. That's okay. The first half of the trick was not designed to fool you. And if you were fooled, great, excellent, thank you. However, the second half is designed to fool everybody else. So look, I'm going to go ahead and grab it, five of spades, and I'm going to go ahead and place the face down five of spades into a face down deck, like this. And also, just to dispel anything strange, some people believe that the five of spades is still on the top. But no, that is a different card. And now, if I was to go ahead and just go through the deck right now, you might be able to see the five of spades. However, we're going to go ahead and do something interesting. I'm going to go ahead and snap. And now, let me show you that you might have, when I was scrolling through, you might have seen that all of the cards were facing in the same direction. And they were, up until the snap. Because now if I spread, there's actually a card that is face down. And that card, can you guess? Is the five of spades. And that, my friends, is the inverted card trick. Thank you kindly for the applause, Chan the Magic Man. So yeah, the first half, a lot of people know how it's done. Second half, that'll hopefully get some people. Thank you kindly for the claps. Peekaboo draws, Charlie's beats. Burke for the nice. Schnagel, welcome in. How's it going? They've Schnagel, thank you so much for the resub for 8 months. Greatly appreciate it. Schnagel, quick question. And I know you signed a card in my old Twitch deck. Have you signed a card in the new Twitch deck? I don't think you have. I'm just checking right now. But for anybody who doesn't know, I'm catching a stream, says Schnagel. Yeah, if anybody wants to sign a card. Oh, probably not. Okay, cool. Let me just quickly hop over to this view. And if not, then let's have you sign a card. Thank you so much for the support. Greatly appreciate it. And then if you request a trick and I can use your card, I will try and use it. Yeah, I don't see Schnagel here. So go ahead and select one of these cards. Schnagel. Man, I'm bad at pronunciating today. I'm also bad at English most days. Go ahead and select one of these cards, Schnagel, and we will sign it for you. Actually, if it's easier, if you don't want to call it out, you should be able to click directly on the screen if you're on desktop, and we'll put a heat map counter on it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't see your name here, so. Yeah, go ahead and sign one of these, and we will get you signed. Zaz Prime, welcome in, Zaz Prime. How's it going? Zaz Prime, it says first time chat, but your name sounds familiar. Oh, Zaz Prime, you taught me how to play Star Wars Unlimited. Is that correct? I was the Star Wars demo guy from TwitchCon. Yes, all right, that's right. It's going well. Yes, I'm like, wait a second, I remember that name. Welcome in. How's it going? Yeah, so Schnagel, let me know which card you want to sign, and we will sign that card. At this point, also, the trick queue is empty. If anybody... Chan the Magic Man, thank you so much for the resub. have the queens help us out over here. So look, I'm just going to go ahead and flip all of the queens face down over here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to wave my hand over the 4 queens. All right, hype train is over, so I can go a little bit calmly, but I feel committed to finishing the trick. So here we go. If I just go 1, 2, 3, I don't know if you saw that really quick, but those 4 cards turned into this 1 card. And actually, this 1 card that's been sitting here, if I fan it, it becomes 4 cards. Is that really strange? That's super strange, right? Because now if I show you, what was their selection? It was the Jack of Hearts, right? Here's the Jack of Hearts. And these 4 cards are our helper, the 4 queens, including Chan the Magic Man, who did the magic for me. Thank you so much for all that support during the hype train. So I believe that was a resub from Chan, and that was a resub from Schneagle, which, Schneagle, if you're still here, I need to know which card you would like to sign. So let me know. And as we know, Chan the Magic Man is the Queen of Clubs. So there we have Chan signed already. But yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, anybody who would like to support the stream with a sub, gift sub, or 500 bits, or I have a bigger allotment of channel points. I forgot what I made it. 25k. You can sign a card in the current Twitch deck. And then if you request tricks, I will try and use the card if possible. There are tricks in which I am not able to. So for example, some people who've seen a bunch of tricks here know that I like blank cards, and so I can't just use any cards sometimes if I have to do a trick with blank cards. I won't be able to let you use that. Okay. All right. Sorry. 8 of clubs, please, said Schneagle. Let me just double check and make sure that is not already taken. But 8 of clubs, not taken. Thank you so much for the support, Schneagle. And let me go ahead and sign it for you. I can't sign any more cards. Chan, you can sign more cards in other decks. So I don't want to have too many cards in one deck from or more than one really for more. Because number one, it helps me remember what one card is your unique card in the deck. Number two, I don't want like other people's missed opportunities to be like, oh, Chan's got like 18 cards in the deck. I wanted that one, you know. So yeah. So when I open up the next deck, and you resub, I will let you sign another card in that one. So, but more or less, I don't want to remember. It's like, oh, Chan the Magic Man, and I have to remember 6 cards. That's like kind of unruly. All right, here we go. Shh. Let me just spell this correctly. I want to be extra careful because I've almost messed up somebody's name once. SCH SCHNEA. Not the gaming company. GL. Okay, alright, there we have it. 8 of clubs, signed by our friend Schneagle. There we have it. Thank you so much for the support. Alright. So now let's try and use this for a trick. Let's find the other black 8. I had the red queens handy, so let's use these. Alright, so, woo! This one's a quick one. But if anybody would like to request anything, the queue is open. I'm thinking about ending in like a half an hour-ish, so feel free to request things. Anyway, while we are here. So we have 2 red queens, 2 black 8s, right? I'm going to flip over the 2 red queens and place the 2 black 8s in between them, face up, like this. Okay, so here's the thing. If I just reverse count these, you would expect that nothing changes, that the black 8s are still face up in the middle, which they are. But what if I was to reverse count them and then do one thing different? I hold the packet and I give it a magical shake. That magical shake changes everything. I don't know if you could tell, but the two red queens will now be face up in the middle. I know, it's super hard to believe. Because look. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? Oh, I'm hanging out with ZD Major 7. Yes, you are hanging out with ZD Major 7. But currently you're both face down, so let's go ahead and turn you back. And then we can verify. But look, I'm going to go ahead and reverse count. And if I reverse count, everything's the same. Because look, if I show you, the two red queens currently face up in between two black sevens. Yep, there's ZD Major 7. Now, but if I was to go ahead and reverse count, but then hold the packet and give it a magical shake, this magical shake actually changes everything. Because now the two black eights will be face up in the middle. And we have Schneagle hanging out with our friend at ZD Major 7. That, my friends, is an overture. All right. I say it's an overture because that's the name of the trick. All right. Next up, we have a request from our raider, Chan the Magic Man. Let me go ahead and get ready for this. Normally, I would use the ace through 3 to start, but we'll use the Chan through 3 to start. Okay. Let me make sure that these are ready to go. All right. All right, and so our friend Chan the Magic Man has requested. Oh, Magic Jake is truly magical. Yes. Chan the Magic Man has requested maximum penetration. The magic trick. The magic trick. I have to specify. I'm not just randomly saying those words, even though it would be hilarious. But there's a trick called maximum penetration. That is the one that we're going to be doing momentarily. I do have to take a hydrate. Hang on. Oh my, says Peekaboo Draws. FYI, for anybody who doesn't know, there is a social media magician named Jeki Yu. Jekii Yoo, I think. And if you look him up on social media, basically anything that he does on like Instagram or TikTok, he ends his trick or video with "Oh my," and then he covers his mouth. Like that's his trademark. Anyway, that's why I had to say that, because Peekaboo Draw said "Oh my," and it reminded me of that magician. Yes, I follow him, says Chan. All right, Chan's already on top of it. Peekaboo Draw says "lol." All right, so first things first, I want to show you that this box is empty. Yeah, I'm talking about an empty box during the trick maximum penetration. Anyway, okay, it's just going to save me some hassle later. All right, first things first. We have, let's see, we have some cards here. All right, so the top two cards are jokers. What's in the box? Nothing. Yeah, I'm just going to show you that these two are jokers, and then we have what would normally be the ace 2 and the 3. We have the Queen of Clubs, Chan the Magic Man signed, 2 of Clubs, and 3 of Clubs. So first things first, we are going to use Chan the Magic Man. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to place Chan the Magic Man in between the two jokers. Hey, I mean, so, yeah, so here, we'll place Chan the Magic Man in between the two jokers. Now, you can see that Chan the Magic Man is in between them. But look, all I have to do is let Chan use some of his magic to penetrate. I'm sorry or you're welcome. Depends on who you are, how offended you'll be. But look, Chan's going to penetrate through Sorry, failure to launch. Through the two jokers. Is that strange? That's super strange, right? All right. Let's see. Now we have the naughty Chan. So let's see. Now we have the 2 and the 3. I'm going to go ahead and place the 2 in between our two jokers. Because, seconds. I won't preface it with the word sloppy, but that's what I was thinking. Um, and so, in between the two jokers, right? And this is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and have that 2 get ready. Doubling down, says Schneegel. That 2 is now going to go ahead and penetrate through the two jokers. I know. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? Okay. Now we have the 3 here, which what I'm going to do now, and this is why I wanted to show you that the box was empty ahead of time. I'm going to go ahead and place the 3 into the box, like so. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and place the 3 into the box. We're going to close that box up. And all I need to do here is say 1, 2, 3. And that 3 is going to penetrate through the box. Now this part is going to penetrate your mind because look, I'm just going to push those two jokers really hard into each other. Yep, really hard. They're all almost grinding. Almost. But actually, I don't know if you can tell, but I pushed them so hard that the two jokers have become one card now. And that one card is the 4 of clubs. What? Now, for those of you who know how magic works, and it's like, oh, okay, he put a card in the box, there must be a card in the box. You're probably thinking, oh, the Joker's in the box. This is where we are going to penetrate reality. Because, I'm not going to lie, there is a card in the box. But it's not the reality that you think. So I'm going to pull this card out, and it is the only card that is in there. There's nothing hiding. This card is not a Joker. This card is the 5 of clubs. And that, my friends, is maximum penetration. The card trick, the card trick. Thank you so much for the raid and for the request, Chan the Magic Man. Oh, thanks for clearing that. Schneegel says, mind blown! Thank you for the mind blown. Schneegel, thank you kindly for the claps. Chan the Magic Man, peekaboo draws. Yeah, normally I do that with the ace through clubs because then it's easier to remember A, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I'm like, oh, Chan requested it, so we're going to place the ace with Chan. That's fine. No problem. Let's see. We have a trick requested by Charlie's Beats. Okay, let's go ahead and find some cards. Okay, boom, 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 and then we need a few other cards. Boom, boom, boom. How was your day off last Sunday? Oh, it was... Thanks for asking, Chan. My day was extremely busy. I talked about my weekend earlier, but Yeah, on Saturday I went to a local innovation festival at my college. They have it every year, but it's a nice family event, so I was able to take my family to it. And I was saying how my kid is now old enough. She was able to enjoy a bunch of events. She loves like stickers and stuff now. And then on Sunday, I went to a magic convention, and I did show off my badge earlier. But since you are aware of magicians, so here's the badge to that convention, and then here's the schedule. But I'll quickly read off the names. You probably know a bunch of these. Alex Hilsche, Steve Fredberg, John Allen, Joe Monty, Henry Evans, Matt Baker. They were all close up. And then our magician and lecturer, Sean Farquhar. And then the night show was ventriloquist Kenny Bird. And then the rest were magicians: Ken McCready, Alexandra DeVivier, John Allen, Joe Monty, and Sean Farquhar. So yeah, it was great. Great convention show. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I just got to make sure that I'm set up correctly. Okay, all right. Here we go. Heard of Joe Monty, Sean Farquhar. Glad you had a great time. Awesome. Yeah, it was a good time. I mean, I was exhausted, but I did it. So, yeah. Yeah, by the time I made it back home, it was like 11:40, and it's like if I was going to stream, it was just going to be for 20 minutes, and it's like that. No. So I was like, all right, no stream. And I was not feeling good today because of allergies, but whatever. Okay, so this trick, requested by Charlie's Beats, it is the name of the trick is called Incauto Tramposo, but in English it is also known as Seven Card Monty. But if you actually translate that, that's actually different. So first things first, I'm going to show you that we have a bunch of red face cards. The object of the game is to try and keep track of which one is different. So these are red face cards, so not these. I'm going to go ahead and place these down here. And then we have, oh, here's our different card. And I decided to use this because it is Charlie's Beat signed Ace of Spades. And so here are the red face cards. So I just want you to keep track of which one is different. And so you're probably thinking, this is the different one. And for right now, you'd be correct. But all I'm going to do, and here, we'll just give you a little peek. I'm just going to swap these two right here. That's all. Now, if anybody wants to play at home, go ahead and click directly on the screen, and I'm going to tell you the different one is the one that's in the middle. I bet you that whoever's clicked on the heat map already, that's probably Chan, because Chan trusts me because I'm a magician. I would never lie to you. Never with the asterisk on it. And the asterisk is, well, except for entertainment, in which case, at least it's only harmless, and I'm not like, scamming you out of hundreds of dollars like some unethical and illegal people do. But anyway, yeah. So, for those of you who listen to me and trust me, this is the different card. Now, you might be wondering, you saw 6 red face cards earlier, and I've placed 6 cards besides this one face down. Well, I'm glad that you decided to trust me today, because even though this is a black spot card with Charlie's Beats signature on it, all of these other cards also match that, because if I show you, that's the Ace of Spades. Here's the 2 of Spades. Here's the 3 of Spades. The 4 of Spades. The 5 of Spades. And the 6 of Spades. And that, my friends, is Incauto Tromposo. Spade edition. right. Whew. I'm going to finish up my tea here. Thank you kindly for the claps. Chan the Magic Man, Charlie's Beats. Oh, so many heat maps now. How do I eat all of these? The thing is, I need to a hand to turn them off. Okay. Whew. All right. Let's see. We're I think about maybe 10-ish minutes away from when I want to end. So, this is probably a good time for last call. So, if anybody would like to see any magic, and or if you would like to request any, now's a good time. If we don't have anything, I'll still do a finale trick, which I always like to do. A couple of caveats. If I mess up the finale trick, then I'm going to finale on another trick because I don't like ending on a trick that I mess up on. Look, my stream, I do what I want, right? Like, and then we'll go from there. Let's see. Oh, I meant to leave them on just in case other people have more tricks for just the last few minutes here. So, if anybody wants to put in any tricks, last call. Last call. Okay, alright. I see that Chan has entered something in. Excellent. Okay. Alright. We are going to go ahead and so for this trick I need to explain two things and I'm going to make a prediction. So the first things first, I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to kind of predict what chat is thinking perhaps. I thought you mean one last trick. I mean, when I do the finale, that'll be the last trick. But when I do last call, that means it's still open. Okay. All right. So here is our prediction. I'm going to go ahead and place the prediction over here. And now we're going to need a card selected. Now, the other thing I have to explain to you is what a mate is. So, for example, let me just, as demonstration, hopefully this doesn't match my prediction. It's a joker. Oh, perfect. I'm going to grab the next one. The 6 of diamonds. So, the mate of a card is the other card that shares the same number and the same color, but is of the other suit. And so, in this case, the mate of the 6 of diamonds would be the 6 of hearts. So, if there's anybody in chat who would like to interact with this trick, go ahead and click, and if you're on desktop, go ahead and click directly on your screen. We'll need one card selected out of all of these, preferably not these top two, because I just revealed them, and one is a joker. So, one of these other ones. This one. Okay. Anybody else have any cards? That's good? Okay. Last chance to change your mind, chat. Okay. Alright. So, what are the odds that this card is the mate of my prediction? That one in the very top left. Wait, top. Oh, you mean my prediction? Now, here's the thing. If the card that I predicted was the 3 of hearts, what are the odds that this card would be its mate. And what would that mate have to be? It would have to be the 3 of 1 out of 52, says Chan. 2%! Alright, so better than a lot of lotteries. 3 of diamonds. And that, my friends, makes a perfect pair. Hey, Chan, how are you? Did you hear Crazy Asian is going to do guitar stream? I did not say I was going to do guitar stream. I was saying Obi-Wan does guitar streams. And his name just happens to be Obi-Wan, and the way that I said it. Alright. Lol, yeah. Thank you kindly for the claps and the applause. Chan the Magic Man. Schneagle. Alright. Okay. Oh, and I don't know if Chan you were here when I showed off my new toy, but so you may have seen that this was an old fidget spinner that I had. Well, at the Magic Convention, I made a purchase. I mean, I made a bunch of purchases, but this is the one that I showed off on stream. So this is an acrylic box, and it has like a little spinny thing here and a little spinny thing here, and I just put my old Twitch deck in it. So now I can spin a deck as though it is a fidget spinner. It needs some practice. He's lying. I have video evidence, says Barney of the Rubble. Ooh, so yeah, I just have to get better at this and spinning it faster, because otherwise. So the thing is, if I squeeze, it'll actually put friction and not spin it as much. So I have to spin, but then I have to let go. So it's a little tricky. Just takes practice. There we go. That one looked pretty good. So yeah. Anyway. All right, friends. So this is probably a good time to close the queue. Where do you get that again? Oh, I got that from the Magic Convention I went to. It was at the dealer's table of here. So I don't know where you would normally get it. I got it at this convention, so I don't know. Actually, the magician that I got it from was John Allen. So I think he's British. I don't know if he likes to be called British or English magician, but have you seen the pin spinners? You can't see what it is spinning on. All right, we'll give you this one. Barney of the Rubble. It's all you. All right. Let's see. Which trick do I want to end with today? You know what? I think I want to end with Imagine today. All right, but this is a good time to say, all right, thank you everybody for coming out and hanging out with me today. Thank you so much to everybody who interacted with the stream. Whether you requested a trick, clicked on the heat map, chose a card, chatted in chat, played a sound effect. Thank you so much. Without you guys, this wouldn't be as much fun. Thank you so much to everybody who is a lurker, because if I'm just here fiddling with cards, there's no magic happening. The magic has to happen in your mind. Disclaimer, just so you know, everything that I do here is sleight of hand. Thank you so much for the transporter sound. Oh, right, that was in response. Do you do any card levitation tricks? No, I don't do any card levitation tricks. I think I understand the premise of how one or two of them are done. I've never done it. I don't think I want to do it, because I can imagine it gets a little tricky. And also I have this really weird jank stream setup. So this table that I'm on right now is super messy. Anyway, disclaimer: everything that you see here is sleight of hand magic I don't have any deals with the devil. I don't do black magic or sorcery. And even if any of that was true, this is what I would claim anyway. So, also, we saw all of our mods today. So, mod love to our friends. If you're not already following them, the Rusty Panda, Gibson Lens, and Chan the Magic Man. If you're not following them, and also Chan the Magic Man, thank you for raiding in today. Greatly appreciate it. Alright, let's see here. And then we will find somebody to raid after I do the finale trick. And I'm not going to choose somebody to raid yet, but you know what? It doesn't hurt to get the tab ready. Alright, we see many of our usual friends. And then, let me see, is there anybody new I want to raid? I don't know. Alright. Okay. Let's do the finale trick first, and then we'll worry about raiding out after. Okay. So for this trick, I want you to use your imagination. And especially, I think, if Schneegel, you haven't seen this trick before, I want you to use your imagination. Okay. First things first, I want you to imagine that these are all jokers. Alright, great. I know you can do that. Now I want you to imagine that one of these jokers turns into a different card. So here's a joker, here's a joker. Oh, there's our card that the joker has turned into. It has turned into Queen of Clubs. Now, this Queen of Clubs is red-backed amongst blue-backed jokers. I mean, I want you to imagine that. Because, see, look. Okay. Now, I want you to imagine that I'm going to go ahead and remove the Queen of Clubs, place it underneath the table. I'm going to throw it through the table, through the pad, through my hand, back into the packet. Sorry. Allergies. But after all that imagination, hopefully you should be able to see that the Queen of Clubs is back amongst all these jokers. Once again, I want you to imagine that you take the Queen of Clubs underneath the table, throw it through the table, through the pad, through my hand, back into the packet. Because look, there it is again. And I know this is getting repetitive, right? I could do this as many times as I want. But at the end of the day, I told you to use your imagination, right? So I just want to confess to you guys that these cards were just part of your imagination too. So you see that the Queen of Clubs that was red backed, there's no Queen of Clubs. And we have 3 blue backed jokers. But actually, I just told you to use your imagination, right? Because look, if I show you, the jokers were also just blank. And that, my friends, is imagine. And with that, I think we'll call that a successful finale. Thank you kindly for the claps. Chan the Magic Man, Schneegel, thank you so much. Also, thank you so much to everybody who resubbed today. So, Chan the Magic Man and Schneagle, thank you for the new follows. Peekaboo Draws. Thank you for the resub today, the Rusty Panda. Thank you for the resub, House Andrel, and thank you for the bits as well, House Andrel. Alright, and for that, we will call that a stream. Alright, so normally we like to raid out to some music friends. Depends on who's on. I also sometimes consult my spreadsheet and see who I haven't rated for a while. Also, sometimes I may be in the mood for specific streamers. So let's see what we've got. Let's see here. Oh, when was the last time we went over there? Okay, that was not too long ago. Actually, you know who we've never raided? I'm pretty sure we've never raided. Yes, we've never raided this person, and they're streaming. Actually, let me make sure they're still going. So I'm gonna ask the all-important question: Gibson Lens, do you know who we're gonna raid? Knowing that we've never raided this person. This is tougher. Yes. I'll give you a hint. It is still music. Wicked Violin? No, but you know that was a good way to eke out another suggestion. But thank you. All right. So no, we're going to be raiding into Targus songs. So let's go hang out with Targus songs today. All right. So if anybody would like to copy a raid message, here's a raid. Here's a sub raid. If anybody gets left behind, here's the raid target. And then let me start the raid. Whoops. I almost spelled it rad, and I just typed it correctly, like, for all those commands. All right. Here we go. Yeah. Target songs. Musician has, like, smooth vibes, funky. He once did a great rendition of, like, the Gibson Lens song. So Gibson Lens rated in, and he basically made a song out of Gibson Lens. I still kind of remember it. It's pretty groovy, funky, nice. Oh yeah, that's right, Chan. Yeah, you probably like him. All right, guys. So we're heading over. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Have a glorious night. Have a glorious week. Take care of yourselves. Remember to hydrate. Remember to stretch. Great seeing you all, and we will see you around. Oh, before I forget, if anybody wants to see more of me, check out my YouTube. If I'm not around on Twitch, that's where you can see a lot of my stuff. There we go. All right. Awesome. Oh, crap. I need to copy my own raid call. Hold on. And I need to copy my own raid call. La la la. Copy. And then, oh yeah, and check out Magic Twitch. That link if you want to find more magicians on Twitch. All right, everybody, take care. We'll see you around. Bye.